warning.
Welcome to the 2-minute warning, where sports fans sound off.
I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind. I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2-Minute Warning Pride Rules MMA Podcast Halloween edition. We are, as always, we are brought to you by 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2-Minute Warning Sports. I am tonight's host, the Reverend Tommy D, here to give you the sweet gospel of the MMA gods. Join with me, as always, El Profesor, Omar Sangarima. We don't have Chris tonight. I don't know what's I guess I do kind of know what's going on. It is the night before Halloween.
He's handing out candy.
I think he's getting his costume ready to, because, before the show he was telling me about the costume that he has set up. What he's going to do is he's going to dress up as like a scarecrow, and he's going to sit in a chair with a bowl of candy, but there's going to be a hole in the bottom of the bowl. So he's probably getting himself ready for that. So hopefully he calls in sometime soon. If not, we'll just keep on rolling along. We got the great heavyweight Shawn Teed calling in tonight. He reached out to let me know that he's got a fight coming up. He can't stand sitting around. So definitely excited to talk to him about that. But Omar, there was an event this past weekend. I don't know if you caught it. I did. I don't know how I felt about it.
It was a wild and crazy event. It's kind of, it was a bad event for bettors. Or a good one, depending on if you felt lucky, I guess. Won in a roll of the dice. I think like 7 out of 8 underdogs won, took home some bacon there. I couldn't have picked those fights. I'm telling you, I don't.
No.
Who do you want to break into first? Because I got a lot to say about Kofi Covington, but that's another. That's
kind of what I kind of wanted to start with him. There's a way to emulate Chael Sonnen, and then there's a way to be a complete douche about it. Now I understand that backstage he told Damian Maia that it was just to sell the fight. You're a legend, all that jazz. Okay, here's my problem with this. You can't be a douche on the camera and then backstage just say it was just for show. And you know why you can't do that? You want to know why you can't do that? Because there's already an organization that does that. It's called professional wrestling. Okay? It's called professional wrestling. They get paid a lot more money to do what they do than Colby Covington does, okay? So I have a very big problem with a lot of the stuff that Covington said, and I'm not even Brazilian.
Hey, Tommy, with all due respect, I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hope you die in a fire. And then off camera. But I said with all due respect, right? That's pretty much what's going on right here. Like, you can't, it's just not, it doesn't even work. Unless the guy's in on it beforehand, which I would highly doubt that Damian would ever thumbs up like, take a shit in my entire home country. So, no. It's not, I just don't see it as something that's passable, especially, I don't know, call me crazy, but even if there is somebody that you were going to do that against, not Damian. Like, the dude's not even like a shitheel Brazilian, because they are out there. Let's be honest. There's some that play that bad boy persona, and maybe if you give them a smush, if you crush them, then okay. But like then you're gonna take it into like I'm the guy who gets pissed when people start chanting USA USA when it's here versus anybody from out of the country or who the crowd thinks is from out of the country. Could be Puerto Rican at this point. Who knows? But it's not the way to go. And one of my friends today at work, he's really big into MMA, shout out to James Ralph. And he goes, because he gets on my case for saying, hey, you're trying to play the middle of the line. I know you get on my case for this in terms of like entertainment value, as well as winning. How about your boy Colby Covington? Where does he fall on that spectrum? I'm like, no, dude just falls firmly on the asshole side of that meter. Colby they're reaching for it and they suck at it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, for me, what makes it worse is he won and dominated. That's what
it bothered
makes it worse.
Me. I was sad. It was Damian. That always is going to make me sad. I'll be a Damian Maya fan for life. I don't know how he just suddenly aged. What the fuck happened?
That's what I mean. Do you think maybe the best days are completely behind him? Which is weird because it was like a fucking year ago.
Yeah, it was fucking a year ago, and he was smashing everybody that was being put in front of him. And then, suddenly, what's left for him 40. To do? Yeah.
He is 40.
He is. And
I don't think he's going to win UFC gold.
No.
There's no way. If he wants to keep fighting, hop on over to Bellator. There are fights there.
I think the UFC would be okay with it because I've never been on board with the UFC actually liking that he wins. I don't think they do. I think for the longest time, they tried everything in their power to try to keep him out of the title picture until he was undeniable. And then, yes, he did lose, of course, and it was one of the worst cards, or one of the worst fights in recent history.
Yeah, but you knew it was going to be boring. When we did our video on the picks, that was the first thing that I said is this is not going to be a bang up, smash and dash fight. It's going to be calculated and it's going to be boring to the casual fan. I didn't think it was going to be as boring as it was, but what was Tyron? What did he have? A torn labrum?
He had a torn excitement muscle, I think, and then that kept him from. It takes two to tango, and I think the only other negative mark that you can put in Maya's corner is that it seems as though when it comes to title fights, something happens. Again, it does take two to tango, and he was going with the GOAT, right, Anderson Silva, but two title fights, two abysmal performances.
That fight should have got Anderson Silva stripped of that title.
That fight should have, my corneas were bleeding. I love fighting, and I was still like, what the fuck is going on?
He should have been stripped for that performance. That was like he had a bet or something.
It was like how bad I can make this. Like, hey, look what I can do. And he was trolling it. He was doing it for the lulz. That's the fight that and we learned later that his personality was such that that's not out of the question, Tommy. I could totally see like look what I can do, and then fuck the UFC, fuck the fans. I dropped $60 on that fight. Like I wanted to support the sport. I actually paid money to see that, or like 50 or whatever it was back then. It was terrible, but yeah, I think they might let him go. I could see the UFC being like, yeah, you want to go? Fuck it. If Bellator will pay you, and you know what? I really think that Coker would pay the asking price to get that UFC loss there. And there are fights for him to have there at 70, at 85. The rosters are such that they like those guys that could fight at different weight classes. They love Rory because he said he'd even fight Chael Sonnen at whatever gangster weight.
And I guarantee you Rory would take a fight with Damian Maia 100%.
Absolutely.
I'm at two guys that left it, that if Maia does leave, two guys that left the UFC fighting in a Bellator cage, especially if Rory wins the belt. Good Lord.
The marketing writes itself.
Good Lord.
The marketing writes itself, right? Like at that point.
And Bellator will actually market that fight, not like what the UFC does. Where and it's become a running trend, and it kind of pisses me off. It's like their idea of promoting a fight is for weigh-ins, Dana White promoting each fight one by one on Twitter. That's their promotion now. With anybody else except for Conor. With Conor, it's radio play. It's on every other TV station. Other than that, it's Twitter, the week of. That's not promoting. That's
kind of
why
mailing it in.
pay-per-views are in the shitter.
Yeah, exactly. He's
That's not
mailing
promoting.
it in. He's not, yeah.
I don't think he's mailing it in. It's just, I think WME does not want to pay for advertising anymore because this is how they're getting their money back, right? How you and I always talk about how they're not making what they were supposed to be making. They're probably cutting massively back on promotion because you know how much advertisements cost. But, I mean, isn't the old adage to make money, you have to spend money?
It is, but for
Isn't that
some
the old
reason
adage?
I think that I in absentia, I got to give Chris props for what he always brings up, which is, are they just letting it ride and collecting the paycheck?
Those paychecks are going to be getting smaller and smaller because what we're going to be talking about, probably not tonight, but Wednesday, we touched a little bit on this in the pre-show warm-up. UFC 217 is not sold out in Madison Square Garden. Now, I understand the tickets are expensive. I get it. It's the Garden. The owner of the Garden is a greedy piece of shit. Yeah. I mean, the Rangers and the Knicks could be in last place the entire season, and you'll still spend almost $400 on 2 tickets to sit up in the nosebleeds. So I understand that. So those tickets are extremely expensive. But the UFC did a marketing strategy as to, who these fans are excited to see. And they weren't excited to see GSP fight Michael Bisping because they didn't know who he was. How is that even possible? How is
it's pretty
that possible?
goddamn sad. Make me think about it. Honestly, it's just. I'm going to be down to see Joe Rogan on Friday down in the city. And one of the things I was thinking about doing was, chaining it together, making it a weekend down there. And I did the same thing that probably a lot of people did. Because, they're pretty cross-promotional, those two events, obviously. They looked at the tickets to the fucking Madison Square Garden card, and they're just like, yeah, smoking crack. Like, shitty tickets.
Yeah.
Were about $300, $400, and I checked them when I booked Joe Rogan, which is a few months ago. I couldn't imagine whatever's left down on the floor. So yeah, they're not going to sell out. But do they care to?
No,
apparently not.
No, and I don't want to jump into too much of this tonight. We're going to save this for Wednesday. But let's talk about somebody else who's most likely Bellator bound. Jim Miller lost to Francisco Trinaldo. I think this might be Jim's last fight with the UFC, whether, he re-signs a contract or they just let him go. He's going to be lost in the fray in that division, honestly. He's still a great fighter. There no question about that. I love Jim Miller, but I don't want to see him keep getting beat by these up-and-coming guys. I think it's time for him to either just retire, and if he doesn't want to retire, go on up to Bellator. That 145 division is stacked. I could see his first fight in Bellator against Aaron Pico. Why? 2 wrestlers. The old lion against the young cub. Jim Miller would be a tremendous test for Aaron Pico, honestly. What do you think?
I'd love to see that fight. Then at the same time, I'd hate to see it because I wouldn't want either one of them to lose. It'd be that sort of situation. Like Jim Miller, the Miller brothers in general, I'm positive, their personal story. They've gone through some shit. They've persevered. They're both those type of game fighters that any organization loves. Jim Miller will fight anybody. He's one of those guys that you just give him, put a contract in front of him, and he will. Which is the only reason that I could see the UFC wanting to hold on to him, because they'll want to use that gatekeeping shine. For the same reason that you would match him with a Pico to start out at 145, is the same reason I think the UFC would keep him and just say, hey, listen, Do I think that's great? Do I like the sound of that? No, because I feel like Jim Miller's done enough for the sport. He was a luminary, during the dark ages, more or less, of the UFC, especially for the lighter weights. He fought higher when he had to, which was a lot of his, the beginning of his career. The lighter weights, he did some damage as well. I'm pissed that he never strung it together because he's definitely like a champion caliber fighter, or he was back in the day. It's just one of those things where he was in the same era as like a resurgent and peaking BJ Penn. And, what's crazy to me is the same type of fans wouldn't know who the fuck that is, or, like a good BJ Penn. The same fans, because they don't know who the fuck GSP is. They just think BJ Penn's the guy that, got washed,
you're right.
These last couple
you're
of
right. Whereas I do agree with you, I disagree with you in the fact that the UFC would even want to keep him around, because what are you going to do? Just keep putting him on these bullshit fight night cards that they might not be making too much money on. They're not getting the ratings that they need on him. Or for himself, he could jump over to Bellator, get that sponsorship money back, on top of what Bellator would probably pay him.
That's a big factor. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
there.
And he would get some exposure, man. He would get some exposure. They would actually promote him. And I think that the Aaron Pico fight could be a co-main event. Maybe not on their like a giant, one of their giant cards that they have on Spike, but just one of their ones that they put on there, a co-main event, or even if it's a smaller card with guys you might not have heard of, you throw them on there as a main event. I think it would be a tremendous fight. Tremendous fight, because he's just going to get buried in the UFC. He's going to get buried. It's I think he's going on a 2 or 3 fight losing streak now.
If that, and it's just, and it's inconsistent. I don't think he can, he's, like you said, he's not going to challenge for a title anymore. He's not going to run out there and be fucking, thrown down for the strap. So the sponsorship money, I think, is the big thing.
Yeah, and I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this because it sounds disrespectful, but it's the truth. But he couldn't beat Frankie Edgar in Ring of Combat. He's not going to beat Frankie Edgar now.
No, I agree. And speaking of the him and Frankie Edgar and that East Coast connection, like, he's still a huge draw for any Bellator type card on the East Coast. You put him in the Northeast, he's got people flock to him, and rightfully so. I think he has his main headquarters down, not down by you, but relatively, at least as opposed to me.
Not even close.
Yeah, I understand, but like, is it in Jersey? I feel like I think it's in.
Oh yeah.
It's in the great state of New Jersey, exactly.
It's about 2.5 hours, maybe close to 3 hours away from where I am. But
we might be closer to you and me.
Frankie, yeah, but in that token, Frankie's UFC gym is in New Brunswick. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's a huge draw still there. I think Bellator would probably do more with him. And the sponsorship money. I really forgot about that. Like, he would, and the thing is, it's not. He has such a great backstory, and he has such a great, like, that persona that he puts out in terms of, like, a rugged, like, blue collar dude. He is that guy. So I think with the right sponsorship money,
too.
Exactly. And I just
coach.
think with the sponsorship money, like, if he could get with the right brands. You know what I mean? Like, I think he could do some damage. He could push the brands, get with like some wild, like, outdoorsy type shit. Because I think he does that. Him and his brother go out and fucking kill stuff, and do it well.
Yeah, they also they also brew their own beer.
Fuck right. Like, tell me that there's not some microbrewing organization up and down the East Coast that wouldn't love a dude with that shine. He lives it. I think he'd be a great spokesperson. Haven't heard anything real badly about him, so it's not like he's secretly a piece of shit.
Dude,
so it's like
he's
a good, he's a good guy.
I met him the night that I met Henzo, because he was cornering. Oh God, what the hell's the dude's name? He was on the Ultimate Fighter. I can't think of his name. Oh, Andy Main. That's it.
Gotcha.
He was
Yep. The Main brothers. Yep.
Yeah, he was cornering Andy Main. Andy Main was the main event against a shootbox guy.
Gosh.
And I met him there. The nicest dude possible. And I just would hate to see him keep getting buried. Like, okay, so yeah, you're fighting for a paycheck. I get it. But you could probably get a bigger paycheck and more exposure in Bellator. And he said that Bellator is not completely out of the realm of possibility. So he might already have that 1 foot out the door. We don't know. You know, we can wait on that. But I hope Bellator is the spot for him. So we'll wait to see on that. And to spin off onto another fight, John Lineker back after 10 months off from having the broken jaw in the Dillashaw fight, puts on an amazing fight against Marlon Vera. It was completely exciting. I know that the commentators were kind of, you know, wanting to see if he was going to go in there with his nose to the grindstone after, you know, having his jaw broke. You know, they were wanting to see if he was going to be a little tentative in that fight, and he wasn't. He was ripping body shots, and man, it was just an exciting fight, and it was nice to see him pull out the win there. What'd you think about it?
John Lineker's never given a fuck, and what I like is that he still doesn't give a fuck. Like, if John Lineker had come out there and done, you know, what the announcers were, or the commentators were worried about, he'd be done. Like, as a fighter and as a draw, I feel like. Because he's always has that mystique about him of, you know, being such a small guy but still hitting, like, you know, he epitomizes punch above the weight class. So if that sort of guy, you know, and it would have been, I wouldn't have begrudged it to him. You know, dude got his shit smashed. And it was a tough loss. It was a tough fight. Like, okay, if he comes out and he's not the Lineker of old, I get it. We're all human. You know, time is a motherfucker. But I'm so glad that he came back and gave us, you know, he's young, but like a vintage Lineker performance. You know, again, and you know, down and
Vera's
and
no
just
slouch.
doing work. That's what's crazy.
Vera's no slouch.
It depends on. Do I think he'll ever, you know, be a title contender? It's getting to the point where he has to
almost
answer
there.
Those questions, I guess. He is exactly, but you know, I mean, it depends. I think more of what happens with the top 3 or 4 guys in his division, maybe letting. But you put him in there with anybody and he connects with them at that weight class, he can put him to sleep, and that's something you can't really say about a lot of people in that weight class because again. Smaller guys, he goes in there and he hits like a fucking Mack truck for that weight class. For any weight class. I bet you he hits 170-pounders in training and they're still like, what the fuck? You know?
Well, I bet you with that win and Jimmy Rivera already having a dance partner, Lineker might be Aljo's next opponent. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Tremendous, and I think Aljamain takes it, but it'd be a great fight. You know, if you want to play soothsayer and tease that out, I think Aljo takes it just because of he's a lot more well-rounded.
Oh, yeah, but the only reason why I bring that up is because who else is Aljo going to fight?
And you know what? And Aljo's been one of those guys that's been doing the promotional thing as well. Like, he's carrying his way in and outside of the octagon. You know, he doesn't have a fight, but it's not for lack of trying. Like, my man's active on social. He's shown the podcast some love, both
he got
as being on here.
Douched.
Yeah.
He really did. And I don't think Cruz is going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think Cruz is going to win. Rivera's going to beat him, and the only reason why I say that is just because of Cruz's injuries and his feet being fucked up. If your feet are that fucked up to where you can't fight for a while, and, you know, apparently the fascia is something that will never,
really
be able to be
right?
fixed.
And never yet. It's one of those things. It's like you just got to push through. But fuck, exactly.
It's just I don't see it. So Rivera is going to win that and then get the shot at either Cody or TJ. You know, whoever comes out on top of that. So they got to put Aljo in there with somebody. And Lineker right now is pretty much the only dance partner. I don't want to say it's unfortunate because, you know, Lineker was.
Oh, it is.
One of the top guys for a little bit.
I agree with you. I was going to say it's almost like I don't want to see that fight. Because, of course, you know, Aljo's going to take it. I want him to take it. You know, he's a friend of the show. fucking extended, in the constellation of teammates that Tommy D has. he's out there as well. But like,
they're all over.
They're everywhere, man. It's like the fucking stars in the sky. I love you, bro. But like, it's Lineker's just getting some steam, and then he's gonna run into a dude that's just gonna nullify him and just smash him that way. It is unfortunate, but again, who the fuck knows, man? They might come out.
Yeah.
They might come out and just match him up with somebody else, and who the hell? Like, I'd hate to see it, but the way the matchmaking in the UFC is going, you have more chance winning the lottery in terms of predicting who the hell is gonna take what fight.
Is it the dartboard effect? Do you think? Do you think that's what
gotta
it is? The dartboard effect.
I think it's that, and it's also probably, one of the underappreciated stars were the matchmakers. And I know Joe Silva really wasn't handling much of the lighter weights anymore. I remember they were platooning him, I think, with Sean Shelby, right? Shelby was handling like one weight class,
yes,
at one break point, and then down, and then Joe Silva was. But Joe Silva was one of the best to ever do it, and you can attest to that by how many people love him and then how many people hate him in the game. That's one of those positions where, like, you're never gonna please everybody because you're the fucking matchmaker and the biggest show in town. But him leaving, people, they said, hey, whatever, he's tiny, he's gonna cash out, fuck him. There's a brain drain, man, and you're right. The dartboard effect is happening because I think you don't have a steady hand at the ship, a steady hand at the wheel. So it's unfortunate because you have great stars like Aljamain that are just like, well, who the fuck am I fighting? I think I have a fight. I get dicked. I'm doing all the right things, right? He's doing all the extra work outside of the cage.
Well, that
Isn't he?
Rivera
This
fight
is
seemed
that
to
era.
be done. Like
UFC.
that fight with him and Rivera seemed to be done. There was articles about it. It was on Twitter. They never got the chance to fight in CFFC. Something always happened before they were supposed to fight, and they never did. And now they're both in the UFC. They're both vying for that number one contender shot, and the carpet gets swept out from underneath them because Dominic Cruz decides, I want to come out from behind the desk and take this fight because I want to try and get my belt back. And it's awesome. Dominic Cruz has the heart of a warrior, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it happening. I think he's just too injury prone. And honestly,
do you see the fight even happening?
I do, because it's signed already. But
no, I understand that, but this is Dominic Cruz we're talking about.
I know. Well, that's kind of what I was going to allude to here. How could the company want to even put him in title contention when his health is so bad, like Khabib? You don't know if this guy is going to be there or not. They got to start looking at that shit. And we'll talk about Khabib in a little bit. But do you really want to hang the company on this guy's back? Let's say he does beat Rivera. Let's say that happens, and now he's going to get a shot at the belt. If he wins, do you feel, as Dana White, 100% confident that Dominic Cruz is going to be able to defend that belt if he wins it in a timely fashion?
Absolutely not. This is the guy that, his warrior's heart got him back from, all that business with the injuries. But at the end of the day, you have an injury-prone fighter, and then you have Father Time ticking away, as well as the fact that he's got a shit ton of other obligations. I'm with Brendan Schaub on this. If you're all doing all this commentating, you're doing all this other work stuff, and I get it. God bless him. Hey, start that runway.
Not
exactly.
To mention cornering.
Yeah, he's still, isn't he one of the big dicks of the Lions still?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, and he's such an MMA genius. Everybody that's trained with him, people that even hate him, are like his mind for MMA. His podcast with Joe Rogan, you get a glimpse of how deep that rabbit hole goes in terms of his extensive knowledge of the game. He's going to be a fixture in this sport for as long as he wants to be. I get that. But like you said, are you really going to bank on this? That'd be like banking on Khabib making weight and showing up for a fight, knowing that he, moved in down the road from one of the best Italian bakeries in Jersey. It's probably not going to fucking happen with so much quality tiramisu down the road. Fuck it, man. It's bad. And you're gonna again. And then we look at the other side of the coin, Tommy. Like, you take that fight out of a hungry fighter's mouth, like Aljamain. Right? You take that opportunity away. I mean, what are you doing to your stars here? What are you doing to the bank on the future of the promotion? Who knows? Maybe Dominic was like, fuck it. If you don't do this, I'm leaving. Again, another guy who Bellator would welcome with open arms because he would immediately rise to, near the top of the ranks of their commentating staff. Not to mention the weight class, right? Like, he can do it both.
Him, I don't see.
Well.
I don't see him going to Bellator. If Dominic Cruz is done with the UFC, I think he's just going to be done with fighting. I mean, you can't just the guy's career. I mean, from WEC on up, he's had an amazing career. But he blows his knee out, then blows it out again, and then this happens, and then that happens. It's like the guy's got the body of a 90-year-old man. I mean, I thought I had a bad body with the consistent injuries. This guy's body is just 100 times worse. So
it's so sad to see because I think he could have been one of the best ever had his body not turned traitor on him. I really feel like that with the way his mind is.
I know the word always was that Ronda was the one who blew his knee out either the first or second time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hold on, what? Fill me in on
that.
That
was a word.
The fuck?
Yeah, that was a word because he was training with her.
Okay.
Because I know she came in on the Ultimate Fighter, but the buzz was that she was training with him and blew his knee out. Now I don't remember if that was the first time he blew it out or it was the second time that he blew it out when the operation didn't take. But that was the word. It was never really confirmed, but usually when you hear something like that, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And, people aren't going to... It's kind of like one of those weird random things that why would somebody make it up? Hate for Ronda notwithstanding. If you hear that, it's like, wait a second. That's kind of so out of left field. That,
yeah.
You're right? Like, it's almost like, who cui bono? Who benefits? Right.
So we'll see what's going on there. There's definitely a lot to go on. So we're going to keep our ear to the ground and keep listening out for that. But God, I hate to even this the main event.
Oh my God.
Lyoto Machida's first fight back, and wow.
Yes, yeah.
I think we've seen the end of Lyoto Machida.
Can I take a hard pass
right?
on talking about this? Can we take I almost want to take a hard pass. Like, talk about making me sad to see, first off, we're both crazy fight fans, right? We're balls deep in this fucking game. However, I'll go on a limb and speak for myself. I was kind of surprised when I learned that Machida was on this card. I was like, oh shit, he's back. Right?
Yeah.
Marketing being what it is. So once I learned that, I made fucking sure to be watching because I knew, because I still had a funny feeling, not that he was going to lose or even get washed, right? But that we're fully aware he's in the back nine of his career. So how many more times are we going to see this guy? One of my favorite fighters of all time, pee drinking notwithstanding. So I made sure. I wanted, okay, we're going to watch. Then this happens. Like, man, ring rust is a son of a bitch. Father time is a motherfucker. I mean, what other epithets do we have to come up with?
Yeah.
Did Brunson win or did Machida lose?
That's what I was going to say. Not to take anything away from Derek Brunson, but Machida 4 years ago would have front kicked this guy's fucking head off his shoulders. 100%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's next for Derek Brunson? You know what I mean? Like, who's he going to get? Who's he going to get? You know what I mean?
Who do you match this man up with? Because, honestly, he's already made the jump.
Honestly?
And then, yeah.
Carl Robertson needs a fight.
You're not so far off, bro. It's one of those,
Well,
like,
bro,
we got to
I
figure
mean,
these out matches. You know?
well, this guy wins the fucking contender in
Mhm.
exciting
Mhm.
fashion,
Absolutely.
and then nothing.
Yeah.
This was a few months
He's
ago.
gone dark. He's gone dark. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Like, they're not doing anything with him. Like, this guy needs to make a paycheck, too.
Yeah. It's not. He doesn't want to just be like the top contender. He wants to be eventually one of the top money makers. So he's like,
Yeah.
Daddy Dana, Uncle Dana, make
You
me
know,
some
this guy
cash.
leaves kickboxing to pursue an MMA career, and he's training at one hell of a gym. You know, Shawn Teed's one of his training partners. This man needs a job. Derek Brunson
bad
doesn't want to
motherfucker.
fight.
Yeah.
Yes. So you put him in there, 2 brawlers. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What a
It's gonna be
coming out
exciting
party
either way.
it would be. Yes.
Oh God. Mm-hmm.
What a coming out party it would be. That's, to me,
Or-
that's a what?
Or it's a win-win, I think, because it's either a coming out party for our boy here, or Brunson manages a win, which could happen. I mean, they're 2 great fighters, I think, and then you have Brunson on a 2-fight, exciting fashion sort of victory. So this fight makes sense for everybody involved, I feel like. Because who else are you going to put Brunson in front of?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. What are you going to? I mean, Ozdemir is already going to be fighting Daniel Cormier. That's pretty much. I think that contract's all but signed.
It has to. Unless Dominic Cruz wants to fight him. In which case, he'll jump to the front of the goddamn line.
Yeah. So that
Well,
there's really not much I could say about that fight. I mean, Machida just he got caught.
Yeah.
He got caught. He's, it's the age, like you said, father time and the ring rust. His speed completely diminished, as you saw. Because, I mean, do you remember when he front kicked Randy Couture? You remember that? When he knocked his fucking tooth out?
Because I think it was like the polar opposite of what we saw the other night. It was karma taking a while to come back around. But, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Why do you... Okay, that's a great example. Let me go off on a quick little tangent here. Randy Couture's style lent itself to age gracefully. There's just, again, he got destroyed by Machida, but beaten by a faster fighter. But a guy who builds, who plies his trade with speed and quickness is just not going to age well. That's why the average age, I bet, of heavyweights is far, far greater than the average age of top contenders at 125, 135, 145, maybe even 155. If you have a style that lends itself to being slow, methodical, wear you down, beat you the fuck up, and then get a decision or get a late TKO, you're going to survive longer. You try to be Machida when the physical tools just aren't there, this is what's going to happen. He's going to keep getting knocked the fuck out. This is not going to be, his style is just, it's not going to let it, he's not going to lose decisions and shit. He's going to be jumping in and out, trying to be the dragon. His fucking wings are going to get clipped, I hate to say. What do you see him doing? Moving back up to 205?
No. After that performance, nothing.
No,
like I said,
your brother.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too deep into this, so we'll see what happens there. But here's something that I want to talk about, and I'm excited to talk about this because we talked about this 2 weeks ago before a lot of other people were. Khabib Nurmagomedov against Edson Barboza, December 19th. I am excited.
I'm sitting here and I'm not gonna lie, there's some blood flow. That's fucking tremendous, Tommy. That's holy shit. And let's make it open weight. Fuck it. I just want to make it so that we see the fight no matter what happens. Right? Let's start a GoFundMe for every pound that he comes in over. We get $1,000 for Barboza. Something, bro. Where I don't care. No matter what, we see the fight because that's the only negative outcome that I could see. If the fight happens, it's going to be phenomenal. Right? But
you know what?
Please.
this fight has to happen not just for the ranking purposes. If Khabib pulls out of this fight, I don't care if it's an injury or if it's weight related, he's gone. Dana White is not going to put up with this shit anymore. And he's just going to release him. He's just going to let him go. I guarantee
and
you.
then he's going to go fight an Akmat or whatever that fucking thing is, right? And then he can put on a suit of armor.
Yeah,
just
because
fight
there's no
other
way you
people and
keep
get
him. You
fat.
can't. How can you?
No.
How can you?
You can't do it. You can't do it. Unless
he's one
literally
of the top.
The only way. Yeah, he's one of the top earners, or probably like he's probably got a decent
top names.
Top name. So you would think he's probably got a decent paycheck coming his way. You know, it's like it's a big risk for very little reward. If you get one fight out of him every year and a half, year and a half, 2 years.
What is he, Conor McGregor?
Right? Yeah, I mean, oh God, yo, Chris ain't here to defend his boy. Let's come on, let's not speak ill. You know, he's probably out there somewhere trying on that costume, getting super pissed right now. But what do you keep him around just to try to debut in Russia? That's not even worth it. It's just not. No,
not even close.
No.
But I mean, as long as the stars align and the universe stays on tilt, this could be. Well, no, this is Khabib's greatest test with probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. Michael Johnson was good. Nothing taken away from him.
Of course.
But there is nobody like Edson Barbosa. Terry Adam can tell you that.
Look, I think Terry Adam is still trying to collect himself. After that. I think he gave up fighting forever. Did he ever come back?
I mean, no.
No, he got fucking knocked into, fucking forced retirement. It's like getting hit by a goddamn bat. Bro,
that was vicious.
It's so vicious.
Absolutely vicious.
It's like we've both been around enough. Like we're both, very, enthusiasts. We love the fight game, train, but like I know enough to know that you can have like crazy skill, right? And then you can also have a chip on your shoulder, and that doesn't always, like, let's use your metaphor. That doesn't always align, right? It doesn't always get the universe on tilt. Edson has amazing tools, and he's got a killer instinct, like a fucking just predator, right? He just snaps.
Well, here's one for you.
Gets it.
Think about this for a second. Just think about this for a second. Uriah Hall was probably the greatest knockout in Ultimate Fighter history, right?
Yeah.
The dude that he fought is still fighting. Terry Adam hasn't fought since Edson Barbosa kicked him in the face. And you're talking about a considerable weight distance between those two weight classes. Just think about that for a minute.
And you know what? It's great that you bring up Uriah Hall because it seems as though like Edson Barbosa is Uriah Hall with like that kill switch. And then not being sorry for causing damage. I'm not saying he's a bloodthirsty son. Like, I'm sure he's a very nice guy. Probably awesome to hang out with. I'm not trying to say he's a fucking savage. But then again, yes, I am. He's one of those guys that just, he has the tools. And this is the fight game, guys. It's not tiddlywinks. These lads are out to hurt each other. Like, you have to have that thing that says, I'm going to shut your lights off. I'm going to put you to sleep somehow. Edson just has that. Not to say that Michael Johnson didn't, but there is a far slimmer margin of error when facing Edson Barbosa than when you go toe-to-toe with a Michael Johnson.
And not even
Khabib
that.
wouldn't get away with it, period.
Well, yeah, but like Edson Barbosa's last fight was against El Kukui. And now he took that fight on short notice, and he was doing pretty well against Tony. I know, Tony ended up beating him in the next round, but Edson was doing pretty goddamn well for somebody who took that fight on short notice. You give Edson a full camp, he might take that.
Who knows? Exactly, and then he's the one who's spinning back kicks Kevin Lee in the heart with staph, and probably causes a staph outbreak in that arena. Just by bursting that chest, the carrier of disease.
But this is Khabib's biggest test, dude, since he's been in the UFC. This is an elite striker.
Who's better in that
So-
division, striking wise?
I don't know many.
No.
I guess
Like
you
in
could
terms
say
of total
Conor.
package?
I guess you could say Conor, but that's because, like Jeremy Horn says, he does the basics perfect.
Phenomenal,
Edson
yeah.
doesn't use the basics. Edson uses shit that you just don't normally see.
And he makes it look like phenomenal. Is the thing. Yeah, he does stuff where it's like you shouldn't really be able to pull this off in professional fights. You know, we've all seen that.
Well,
like, yo, I'm not going to.
That's a testament to Anderson Franca, who was at Madama last week and tonight. Great
wizard.
Muay Thai coach.
He's a striking badass. A mind for the game, and he's with people that have the tools to execute on his game plan. Like, it's not often when those two things align. We're gonna keep it with the alignment factor. I love that. When those two things align, you got fighters like Edson. You get fighters like the rest of fucking Madama can. You know.
Well, you know, Anderson Franca's in Frankie's corner, and you see it with those guys.
Yeah.
Light on the feet, very fast.
Yep. Make you pay
quick
for mistakes.
pinpoint.
They always make you pay for mistakes. That's
Yes.
the biggest thing. You don't get away with stuff. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think Khabib leaves himself open the way, you know, Michael Johnson caught him and staggered him. Yeah, it's over. He doesn't get second chances at that point. I don't think.
It'll be interesting. It will be interesting if he gets Edson on his back to see how Edson handles it. Honestly,
He'll be training.
because I don't think Edson's fought anybody with Khabib's top game.
Well, nobody got the same way as like nobody's got the striking, or like maybe one or two people have the striking in the 155 division, like in Edson Barbosa. I believe it's arguable by a fair margin that nobody's got the top game on the floor, like Khabib. Just that oppressive top pressure.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, you look at who he's training with. You know, he's rolling with DC. He's rolling with Luke Rockhold. If he's holding those guys down, I don't know too many people that are going to be able to get off their back when he's on top of them. I don't.
No.
I don't.
When Kane's not dead, we're getting, Frankenstein bone marrow transplants. He's rolling with him as well. And if he's holding his own against somebody that much different in size, the fuck are you gonna do? Video. Somebody posted that video of the little bear, right? It was not Khabib this time. It was somebody else. It was like, oh, this is the most interesting BJJ fight ever. And I just posted, and I got tagged in it. I think on 2 Minute Warning. I just posted. I said, hey, I've seen this video before. It's a different video, but it was Khabib, and I think he won or he drew against the fucking baby bear at the age of like 9 or 10. I mean, it's just there's things that make him legendary. And you know what else would make him legendary? Actually making this fight.
Yes.
Don't fucking do it, Khabib. Don't do it to me.
Yes.
All right? Had a rough month.
It would. It would.
God.
I mean, I know it's December 19th. I'm excited for that. I hope it happens. I really do, because it's a great rub. It's a great rub for both guys, especially if Edson is the first one to beat him. You fast track that man for a title contention shot.
Please
100%.
do. Oh, please do. If he's the one that makes Khabib's go, then yeah, he should be he can make weight. He goes and he beats the guy that is, when he makes weight, is the boogeyman of the division. I think a lot of people do, and we're ducking him mentally. Edson should get a title shot after that. Without a doubt. I'm lobbying for it right now. If he beats him, and he beats him in emphatic fashion, like imagine he just knocks him out with some crazy spinning shit. Fuck, give that man a title shot.
I don't see him doing
do you want
spinning
ratings?
shit.
I
don't see him doing any spinning shit. No, but knowing how Khabib is with his takedowns, I don't see him doing anything that's going to catch him getting put on his back. I think he's going to keep his striking crisp and ready to go. I don't see him trying to take any stupid risks. I think he's just going to make it a straightforward fight.
Edson does what he wants. He makes spinning shit look like straight on shit. I'm excited for the fight regardless. Honestly, it needs to happen. Please don't get fat. Khabib, just please use MyFitnessPal. All right, track the calories in and the calories out. It's not fucking hard. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, I said this the first time, but I don't think he's going to take any kind of stupid risk that's going to make him have the potential of getting cut, because that's just what Dana's going to do. They've put enough money into him. He's already ruined a couple cards just on Tony Ferguson fights alone. He's ruined a couple cards pulling out. So I would hope Team Pullout keeps him on the straight and narrow. I hope he's not back in Russia. I hope he's staying in California. I hope he's staying in California and training and staying on weight.
Yeah. Don't get on a plane. Okay, you retain weather, my guy. Please, just everything. I'm trying to pull out every literal weight-cutting thing that I've ever heard of, experienced, read about. Don't get on there. Please, stay put. All right? Stay away from the fatty. Please. Don't be doing that to us.
So, Omar, I think it's time to give Shawn Teed a call, get him on the show. While Omar's making the phone call, just want to tell you guys about our sponsor, 80K Fightwear. Look, you guys need to get over to 80kfightwear.com. If you're training, if you're competing, they have the greatest friggin' fightwear for you. Anything from rash guards to gis to fight shorts, anything that you guys want. It's all competition approved. Joe Cashin is a great guy. He's got a new line out, the Going Green line. Helpful to the environment. Everybody needs to just go out there and check that out. If you're in the Wappinger Falls area, head on over to blackholejujitsu.org or .net. Excuse me. I don't want Omar to get mad at me. Definitely get over there. Mike Wacker is a tremendous coach. He has a win over Diego Sanchez in a super fight. And if you're in the New Jersey area, especially in the South Jersey area, check out MadamaJJ.com. Josh Madama is a Matt Serra black belt. He's also trained under Renzo Gracie and Ricardo Almeida. It's definitely going to be a great experience for you if you come on down here. So, check all that stuff out. And check out 2 Minute Warning Sports. If you like sports banter and you like to talk some shit and have some fun, 2 Minute Warning Sports is the place for you. Check them out at 2 Minute Warning Sports on Facebook. Omar, are we ready to go? Omar went radio silent. So now you have the Reverend for another couple minutes. So we talked about the past event. We talked about Khabib and Tony Ferguson coming up. One thing I just want to touch on before Omar comes back is Dylan Dennis. Now, most of you might not know who Dylan Dennis is.
Hate to cut you off, Tommy. We'll get in with it with Dylan Dennis. Let me get our boy on the phone here. He's in the screening room. He's ready to go.
Okay.
Let's see here.
You ready to go there, Omar?
Here we go. Shawn, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. What's up?
Beautiful.
All right. We have CFFC, rising heavyweight star, returning guest, friend of the show, extended teammate, Shawn Teed. What's going on, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Man, it was great to hear from you the other day. It's nice to hear that you couldn't take sitting at home anymore, so you got yourself a fight set up in December, huh?
Yes, sir. For the CFFC, December, was it 16th or something like that? Yeah.
Oh, man, I know you can't talk much about it as to who your opponent is, but what's this fight looking for you towards career-wise?
It's good. I really like to stay active, so it wasn't exactly the fight I wanted, but the fight that I wanted is no longer on the table. So, this is what has to happen. I'm just, I just want to fight at this point.
Now, is that belt vacant? Is Zoo a 100% UFC employee now after his fight with Ledet?
I don't know. I haven't really heard much about it. I keep getting a lot of people ask, like, oh, the belt's vacated, this, that, this, I don't know. I haven't heard anything, I haven't signed anything that says, I'm fighting for the belt or anything. So, at this point, I have no clue.
That's so weird. Like, the UFC brings him in on short notice. He does fairly well. I don't see why. I don't know. I'm not a fighter, so I don't understand how this stuff works with you guys. I don't know if he's still contracted under CFFC. I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, the way I would think of it, if he takes a fight in the UFC, how the hell does he still get to hold on to that friggin' belt for CFFC? I think there should be a tournament for it or something.
Yeah, I mean, even if he did a tournament, like the local heavyweights aren't that that deep, and if the local guys, that pretty much beat everybody locally, so they'd have to bring somebody in.
So, AKA, they should make this fight for the belt and cut the bullshit. I'll say it right now. I know Shawn is not going. He's trying to be very, very political about it, but man, you're exciting. You go for finishes, well-rounded. You're getting on. You're promoting yourself with these sorts of things here. I mean, like, that's what's not to love, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't like sitting on the shelf. So if they're trying to wait to see what they want to do with that, I love the CFFC. I love fighting for them. So why not just give me another person, not keep me on the shelf while they're deciding what they're doing. So, I'm fine with it. There ain't no bad blood, nothing. I just want to go in there and, do what I do.
No, man, they seem to treat you well, and like you said when you were on here the last time, they're run almost like the UFC. I mean, you got Burt running everything, so that's that's as close to the UFC as you're going to get. And they put on some pretty damn good cards. It was funny. God, it had to be about maybe a month or two ago. They were looking for a commentator in Atlantic City, and a couple of friends of mine tagged me in their post. That would have been interesting to do commentating for CFFC. I don't know how good I would do in that realm. What do you think, Omar?
I think you'd be good, and I've heard you speaking here. You're always great to the local fighters. You wouldn't forget where you came from, so I think you'd be repping the podcast. So from a personal perspective, I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, but they're not uncut. The commentators aren't allowed to curse, right, Shawn? Like, you can't curse?
I don't think so. But I don't know if you watched the most recent Zoo. Instead of in their most recent fight with Zoo on there, I don't think he cursed. He just said a lot of ums. So, you could use that as your filler.
Yeah, I know, but I'm an Italian.
Originally
from northern New Jersey. Cursing is what I do.
And you're saying, that's a great strike. Oh, fucking.
But yeah, no, I do enjoy watching CFFC fights, and you look at some of the guys that came from there. I mean, Aljamain Sterling, that's another one. You guys are definitely on the come up. I just want to see you go for that belt, man. Teed for the title, like your shirt says.
Yeah, it'll happen. They nobody can run from me. They can't. They can't justify giving somebody else a title shot for that vacant belt. If it is vacant, without my name going across the table first. It's one of those things. But I haven't heard anything about it. I don't care. I just want to fight.
Well, I mean, you've had a nice time off. I saw you went on vacation, real nice. Thank you for making everybody feel like shit that you're out in nice tropical islands. You're
the worst hater on vacations. Like Shawn, every guy we have on here, right? He's like, oh man, I see you went on vacation, and then he shits on him for living life. Don't let him do it, Shawn. He earned
Maybe
every
do
game.
once. I loved it. That was so good. It was so fun.
You can say what you want. Fuck him. I had a grand old time. That's my boy right there. That's fucking phenomenal.
I did have a good time.
Yeah.
But there's
Good.
something you guys didn't know that you guys missed. You said that Carl didn't have a fight. Carl has a fight.
Does he?
Yeah, like in 2 weeks, Carl has a fight.
Well, you know why we didn't know that? Because they don't promote it.
He's fighting on the same card that Dustin Poirier is fighting Anthony Pettis.
Oh, in December.
No,
That's the December fight?
November 11th.
Yeah. They're not promoting that at all.
Yeah, he's fighting Darren Stewart, I think. Yeah.
See, Omar?
I'm looking at the fight card right
See what
now.
I mean?
I love
what I
the
mean?
fight
That's also
game.
the same
and,
card
and
that
yeah.
Marlon Morales is fighting on that card too versus John Dotson.
Magic
See what I
Man's
mean?
doing the
They're-
disappearing act on that fight. Like why?
And you know what, Sean, if you didn't tell
No.
us that, we wouldn't know until a few days before when Dana White tweets all of the weigh-ins. We wouldn't know.
Yeah, there's a
Now,
few
that's
good
a
fights
shame.
on that card. You know, Clay
That's
Guida fighting Joe
unbelievable.
Lozon on that fight. You know, so you have some good fights on that card.
Talk about burying it. Like, that's, you see? That right there,
terrible.
Omar. He just proved our point.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny and sad and bittersweet that he came on and dropped that on us because, you know, if there be any fighters that we would be watching out for, you know, like we keep abreast of these things and UFC, I don't know, I don't want to shit on them, you know, potential employer for our guest, so I don't want to like get too much into it, but holy shit, man, you know, give everybody some shine. I don't know what's going on.
I still think the Brunson Carl Robertson fight's a better fight, excitement wise. I still think that's a better fight. But thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah, as long as I know that because the guy throws punches at me 2 times a week. You know.
Yeah, see,
So,
you
yeah.
train with him.
Yeah, it would make sense that
trained
you keep abreast. Yeah.
Well,
He's
you
an
know what?
animal.
It's nice to see that they're actually going to use him, considering that he won on he fought on the Contender 2 months ago.
Something like that. Yeah, but I think this fight's at 85. Not too.
They are making him go
Yeah.
85. Fucking Dana
Yeah.
White. God damn it.
It's,
that light
I don't know,
heavyweight
man.
division is as deep as a puddle. A
honestly,
guy like him in light heavyweight is so exciting, and they're going to make him drop to 185. Unbelievable.
hey man,
I was hoping.
You wanna
that they
keep the
didn't do
path
that.
open.
I really was.
for John Jones coming back, they want to keep the path
Yeah.
open, bro. You know, he's only gonna get 3 months. Yeah, okay.
Well, there. You know
Yeah.
what, Sean? That's going to be your first fight in the UFC. They're going to somehow skate John Jones through USADA. He's going to come back as a heavyweight. That's going to be your first fight.
Sign me up. I'm fine. I like that paycheck.
There you go. That's what I love to hear. So, I mean, how's training going? Training camp's already started, obviously. You're ready to tear somebody's face off, or what?
Yeah, you know, I've been training a lot with Corey, Carl, Rex Harris, because Corey fights next weekend and Carl fights 2
He's
weeks
got a fight
after
coming
him.
up too.
Yeah, he's fighting Ogun St. Preux, so you know that's a awesome fight. And then you know I got a few other teammates that are fighting stuff like that, guys that I already train with and stuff. You know, hopefully Corey goes in there and just does what he does, gets out of there, and comes back into camp. But you know, it's good.
Well, that's good for him because I mean, Ogun St. Preux did fight John Jones and did pretty well. So that's great for Corey. I'd love to hear that. Corey's so awesome. He was one of my
he's a great
favorites
guy.
on that. He is. He was one of my favorites on that Ultimate Fighter season. It was him and Eddie, my two favorites on that season.
Yeah, he's a good dude outside of training and stuff, man. Like, you know, just cares about all of his teammates, stuff like that. You know, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. he makes you like feel like even though you bust your ass in practice and you feel like you're dying, and he's sitting over there doing ground and pound or kicks from the bag and jumping rope and stuff. You're like, does that guy ever quit? And then it makes you work harder, which is awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome if his management team answered emails. That would be.
Oh shit! Yo, wow. Oh man, you know what? And Shawn, let me tell you this right now, just as an aside, just you and me here, right? Just forget Tommy for a second. He did say that hey, I know you can't say nothing about it. Before the end of this interview, he's gonna ask you at least twice who you're fighting. Just to prepare.
No, I won't.
I want to lay it. No, okay. See,
I will
try
not
that
do
reverse psychology. No,
I am not.
Well, I mean, you
Aaron
guys asked
Helwani.
me who Corey was. You guys asked me who Corey was fighting before, and I wouldn't tell you either. So, but,
see,
that's right.
With me,
don't say you guys. I respect you. It's
The
definitely
CFFC likes to announce their fights and stuff. Like my teammates know who I'm fighting and stuff like that. But if they want to be the first people to start pushing it, I'm fine. I already got a contract signed. I ain't got to worry about it. So but it helps promote the fight and stuff like that.
I won't do that to you, man. I'm not Ariel Helwani. But was that the fight that you were talking about? With
what?
With Corey? Corey and Ovens, is that the one that you were saying?
Well, no, he was supposed to fight. Who was he supposed to fight? I just backed out from him. The guy that fought Daniel Cormier, wrestler guy.
Pat Cummins.
Pat Cummins. He was supposed to fight Pat Cummins. I don't know if you guys saw, but Pat Cummins actually withdrew himself from the fight like a week and a half ago because he got like staph in his arm or his leg or something like that. And
Jesus.
He withdrew himself from the fight, actually. It was weird. Before he even, announced it to anybody, he posted it on, Twitter or something. I was like, I'm not fighting. So, But I think this is a better
somewhere
fight
Kevin Lee
career.
is laughing. Somewhere Kevin Lee is laughing.
That guy had it on his chest, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy.
blatant. Fox even tried.
I think
that was the funny part. Fox was blurring it out.
So he's got a picture.
He's
got a tattoo of ass cheeks on his chest.
Yeah.
It's all blurry and shit. Like, come on, man.
Oh yeah,
100%.
It's a better career fight for Corey with Ovens because like I just said, he did fight John Jones, and I think this is a very winnable fight for Corey.
Yeah, it's number 6 versus number 7. So it's versus somebody that Corey goes in there and gets the job done. Over St. Preux, the guy comes with heat. You can't say anything else about him. He comes out there and he looks to finish fights as fast as he can.
He's
it's a good
big
fight
son bitch. He's a big son bitch.
Christ,
yeah,
he's enormous.
Yeah.
He's big.
Huge
He's unorthodox. That's what even John Jones was saying.
Yeah.
He's unorthodox. He's a very unorthodox fighter. But it's somebody that I think Corey can get inside and take him down and keep him there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very winnable fight for Corey. We work him really hard, to fight him specifically. And, I think he should go in there perform excellent versus him. So, high hopes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So not only are you a professional fighter, you're also a professional video game player. And I know we talked about this a little bit the first time that you're on, but when you were talking to me, you're saying you're going back to your roots and taking it to the next level. So what's going on with the Twitch stuff now?
Yeah, before I started fighting, all I did was game. I had message boards that I did, stuff like that. People paid me to play their accounts and things like that. But I stopped because I just wanted to focus on fighting and stuff like that. But I always played video games on the side. I'm not one of the people that just sit there, when I get done training and watch TV. I go on and play, stuff on the computer and stuff, World of Warcraft, Players Unknown Battlegrounds, Overwatch, stuff like that. So, I was like, I'm already playing this stuff. Why don't I just start streaming stuff and, open up a new market for me to, advertise myself to, the gaming people that already kind of knew me, but didn't know that I was an actual fighter and things like that.
So now, are the the people that are watching you, are they fight fans too? Are they watching you not just because you're good at the games, but because you're a professional fighter too?
I mean, I get both sides of the spectrum. I'm pretty new back into streaming, so I don't have an astronomical number of viewers. I only have like 15, 20 viewers in my room sometimes. Some people I know I'm fighters, but it's weird. I have like fight fans from like Canada and stuff in my I fight in New Jersey. I don't know how they found me, but so I actually have people all over the place that are watching my stuff now, not just fight fans.
It's huge, man. I was talking to Tommy before, real quick, and I was like, hey, and it was funny because it shows like how the two arenas can be separate, but then they can also mesh. And I think you're a fucking genius for thinking that. And hey, let me bring that back in. But like you've heard of or you've seen, you tell me, Shawn, like Rampage on Twitch. Like that's a big happening. If he's
Rampage,
hilarious on
Mighty
Twitch.
Mouse is on there.
Exactly. They're big
Max
guys.
Holloway is on there too.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, Max Holloway. It's like blessed MMA or something like that.
And it's entertaining because like they'll play, they'll interact with fans, they'll shoot the shit, they'll be funny. In Rampage's case, it's just like, man, I get why you turned to professional fighting because you're certifiably insane. And if you didn't fight, you'd definitely be running more people over in a monster truck. Like you get some insight. There's some wild
you stay
business.
going on that monster truck stuff. You stay going on that.
Because come on, man, like that was brushed under the rug, and I feel like we can never forget. He's an animal, all right. But
I still think Dana White was in the passenger seat of that monster truck since it got swept under the rug.
Fuck it, he was chasing him. He was the one like feeding him, Monster energy drinks, aka cocaine, and having Rampage just fucking mowing people over. But yeah, it's a great. I think Mighty Mouse is gonna, as much as I hate to say this, Mighty Mouse might end up making more money via Twitch in the long run. Like, right, Shawn? Like
he probably does now.
Here. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the potential. There's people on there like, I don't know if you know streaming and stuff like that, but like there's a guy on there that's Dr. Disrespect, and he has 100,000 subscribers and stuff like that, and it's like $5 per subscriber. I don't know what the cut they get. It's probably $2, $2.50 or something like that. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
You have the potential to earn it, but those guys do that full-time jobs and stuff. So, Mighty Mouse and those guys do it when they, have some free time and stuff. So it's good for extra money for those guys because they're at that point. I'm nowhere near that point yet.
Not yet.
Stop being modest.
Not yet.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying
Stop being
exactly,
modest.
and
yes, you are.
I'm pretty sure he'd wash a lot of people in the games that he plays. So let it be announced here: Shawn Teed's taking all comers in the cage, as well as in the Twitch arena. You can get it anywhere you want to get it. Shawn's like, yeah, I got this. He's being nice.
What do you play and on what system?
I play mainly on PC, just because a lot of my my real life friends all are on console. I mean PC. I mean, but I play like a lot of shooters. If I play any other games, it's normally like World of Warcraft or something like that. I've got not too much into WoW lately, but more into just straight shooters. The new Call of Duty comes out on the 3rd, so I'll definitely be streaming.
I'm excited
all
for that. I am excited.
The marketing is tremendous for that.
I don't like to play Call of Duty. I don't like to play Call of Duty online anymore because if you don't buy it for like the midnight release, you're going to be behind because there's a 15-year-old that buys it at the midnight release, doesn't go to school the next day, and learns every single damn hiding spot on every single online board that there is, and it's not enjoyable. I've ruined at least 3 controllers with the original not the original Xbox, but the Xbox that they came out with back in 2008 when World of yes, the 360 when World at War came out. I've ruined at least 3 or 4 controllers throwing them across the room.
Oh, man.
And that was when I was able to sit there for hours on end and play on my Xbox. So now I just play things for campaign modes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I will say the new one, I played the beta for the whole week that it was available with a few of my friends, and it was looking really good. You know, the gun gap isn't really too bad when past, like, you know, level 10 or something like that. The gun gap's not too bad, so it won't be bad for, you know, if you got to go to work and some kids sitting home playing all day. I mean, he'll know the map, but he won't have a gun advantage at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, you're lucky. You're in your 20s. You don't have any kids. I got 2 kids. By the time I get to have the opportunity to sit down and play on my Xbox, especially if it's going to be online, I'm just too tired. I got to go to work in the morning. The most I get to touch my Xbox is when I'm traveling for work, like now. And like I said, it's going to be the campaign mode because I can't connect to the internet with my Xbox here. So it's just for the campaign mode. I'm a history buff. I love history, so that's the only reason why I want this game is for World War II. It's the only reason why I want this game. So what do you play on? Do you have an Xbox?
Well, I have everything. But I play mostly on my computer. But like I have an Xbox, you know, an Xbox One and a PS4 and stuff.
Living large. Living large. Yeah.
I got them Christmas presents. Don't worry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, my Xbox 360 was a Christmas present. I think well, we weren't married at the time, but I think she thought that it was the biggest mistake she ever made because we used to see each other just on weekends in the beginning, and I would be sitting in front of the Xbox at like 2 o'clock in the morning playing World at War.
Yeah.
No, you gotta love the ladies that hook you up with the gaming rigs. Like, I'm actually, this is my 4-year anniversary with my lady love there, and she built the console that I play on now. She just, you know, she bought the parts, she put it together, and she's like, here. And I think she's right there with Tommy's wife in terms of like, what did I do? Because I'll definitely, I've maybe been theoretically guilty of cutting an evening short.
Well, no, Tara tried. We tried to bond over video games. She loves Guitar Hero. So we tried to bond over video games, but it just didn't work.
I got extremely lucky with my girlfriend. We've been dating over 5 years now, but she actually, like, we have a big desk. Like, my dad made us a desk from one wall to another wall, so it's literally probably 10 feet across. And she has her computer. She has a really good computer on her side, and I have mine on my side. So she has 2 monitors on her side. I have 2 monitors on my side.
That's amazing.
And we both game together. Like, if you stop in when I play like Overwatch and stuff like that, I'm playing with her most of the time. So I got lucky. We play a lot of video games together, actually.
Now, you said you played World of Warcraft. I remember that South Park episode. You do not look like the big fat guy that was sitting behind the computer with the with the wristband on.
Yeah, I'm just a very athletic, nerdy guy.
Amen. Amen to that, man. There's nothing wrong with us, Shawn. Don't let Tommy try to nerd shame you. All right, you see that sideways?
I love it.
Fuck out of here. World of
I'm
Warcraft.
good.
We don't all have wristbands, okay?
I just can't sit in front of my computer for the amount of time that it takes to play that stuff anymore. When I was like 15, and I had no ambition, to do anything besides play World of Warcraft. Yeah, I could play it for 12 hours at a clip. But now I'm like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go do something.
I feel mad guilty.
I tried.
Now. Like, if I put in that amount of time, I'd be like, wait a second. I could be, like, maybe there's podcast stuff I could do. Maybe there's side job stuff I could do. I can go and roll. Like, yeah, 12 hours at a clip? Jesus Christ.
I tried with the computer games. I did. I guess back in the day I had the dial-up internet. Shawn, you probably weren't even born yet. But
Stop it.
Playing
What the fuck is that?
Oregon Trails and stuff on your computer. Yeah.
yeah, Oregon
Exactly.
Trail. Wow.
That
No,
thing?
there were
He's,
these.
he's
there were,
definitely old school.
I can't remember the name of the game, but if you had a bad internet connection, especially if you had dial-up, the lag was just so bad. You'd get killed, and you wouldn't even know you were killed until the game started to restart. So that was it with me with computer games. I never tried a computer game again after that. But it's good to see that you're. I mean, are you making extra money on the side from it?
I mean, not right now. Right now, it's just for fun. I'm already doing it. I might as well, put it out there. And, if I can make some money on the side, cool. If not, I'm still going to do it. Have some things opening up in the foreseeable future within the next few months that'll make that more popular. I can't talk about it right now, but it'll make it more, push more of me gaming and stuff. So that'll be good.
I think you need to challenge Rampage to a game or Mighty Mouse.
I like it.
You guys can never fight in a cage, but shit, challenge them to a game.
Fuck it. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not popular enough right now to verse somebody.
Get out of here.
Like
Take them out in Overwatch. Be like, listen, I'll kill you.
But they'd be like, who was this guy in my chat talking shit,
Yo, it's a lot more has been started with a lot less, Shawn. I'm telling you. You get something like that going, and you just keep being persistent like that. Be like, yo, he's hiding from me. Thought Mighty Mouse had a heart of a lion.
I'll call him out after my fight and my speech.
I like that. Yeah,
there you go.
Yo, he keeps ducking me in the chat rooms. He keeps leaving.
It's funny that you say that because Dominic Ware, Dominic Ware, when he was playing for the Cowboys, he did an interview, and he had said, this is D Ware. I forget what it was. That's my Xbox name. Come see me in Call of Duty, and I found him on Call of Duty, and he kicked my ass. It had to be like 30 games to 1. And I think the one game he probably got up to go to the bathroom or something and just left his Xbox on. But it was fun, man. It was fun. That's definitely something that you should do. Challenge one of those guys. Shit, get your name out there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun. Hopefully I can play with some of those guys. That'd be cool.
Well, hell, man, you've been playing video games long enough. I'm pretty sure that you can.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But I'm definitely,
guys, and I think we got to be shit talking for them. I got you. All right. Anybody that wants it can find Shawn. We'll put his gamer tag out in the show notes. All right. And any game of choice. Okay. Even if you're some crazy Korean that all they do is sit in a coffee bar and give himself heart attacks, like near heart attacks, playing 40 hours at a time, Shawn's got something for your ass. How's that, Shawn?
Do we have to take this to Twitter for you? Do we have to do that?
It's going to fucking happen.
I'm easy to find on Twitter.
Oh, see? That's the low-key, okay, come get it. Yeah, I'm easy to find. I like that, Shawn. That's classy. You're keeping it classier than I am right now. He's like, yo, I'm
keeping it classy, yeah. I don't shy away from fights at all. In life, in real life, or on video games.
Exactly. Come find me. You'll be like, yo, I got something. You'll be blocking me soon enough.
Man.
I'll be owning your ass. Shawn's like, yo, you're gonna.
So, Shawn, we got UFC 217 coming up on the 4th. Who do you got, Bisping or GSP?
I don't know, man. I'm a huge fan of GSP. He's probably one of my favorite fighters of all time, just because of how.
And a teammate. Don't throw that under the bus. And a teammate.
Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for saying it for me. But he's just a phenomenal athlete. The only thing that I think could beat him right now, it would be ring rust, being out for so long. We've seen fantastic fighters that, take crazy amount of time off and come back and they're not the same guy. I hope he never misses a beat and comes back, as a world beater. But, we'll see.
I know, like, the ring rust, yeah, but he seems like a guy who, even in the entire time that he was off, was still trading like a madman. I know, like, even Chael Sonnen was saying, because he actually rolled with Chael, had to be about 5 or 6 months ago. And Chael was just like, I couldn't get this guy off me. So you're talking about a guy who's, at the time, was 2 weight classes higher than GSP. And GSP was holding him down. And Chael's no slouch when it comes to wrestling and things like that. And, I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because I just don't like Bisping. I think he was just the luckiest guy in MMA being able to do what he did. I don't think he beat Dan Henderson in that last fight. I think GSP actually beats him easily. I think he puts him on his back and smashes him for 5 rounds.
Yeah, he has all the potential to do that. I hope he does. He's still training really hard, but everybody takes that time off differently. I hope he doesn't miss a beat at all.
You think he keeps fighting?
And if either one of them wants to get it online as well, Shawn's got something. See? That's what I'm saying. I got you, bro. If either one of them decides they want to lose again after which one of them loses on Saturday, they can come fight him. He ain't hard to find. You can get it too.
Pop a mud hole like Steve Austin in their ass, right?
There you go.
Yo, I like it. Done. This is how we create our night
fan too.
This
He's
exactly.
a wrestling fan too.
Man.
I love this guy.
Yo, I love this man right now. I feel like we get along mad well. I'm not trying to be creepy or whatever. We play video games. We like wrestling. We want to play video games with our ladies. It's beautiful. It's
I have a very funny
so,
story about Steve Austin
so
when I was
say,
younger.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Do you still watch?
Exactly.
No, but when I was really young, I watched wrestling all the time. And he actually went to Acco Raceway when he had that whole monster truck thing he was doing for a long time there. And
See, monster
I was a
truck.
little kid.
See,
probably 5, 6, somewhere like real young. And that was back when he used to give everybody his finger. So here was little me. My dad's holding me up over the fence, and he's looking at the crowd, and here's his little 5-year-old giving him a double bird. And this look on his face was an utter shock. It was hilarious.
You were 5 or 6 years old when that was going on, huh?
Yeah, I was only 25.
Yeah. God.
He's gonna make an old joke, Shawn, and I'm gonna just say that since the age of 5, Shawn was not hard to find. All right, he was given everybody could get it, and he was even given the Texas rattlesnake a little piece of his mind. See,
well, you know what? You might want to get back into it because I think Ronda signed a contract.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on that. I think, hey, if she can make money over there, cool. But, dude, she's getting knocked out in UFC, and that's not good. Once you get knocked out, you get knocked out again. She's not like she's getting knocked out by getting clipped. She's getting put into the mat.
Well, you know what? It's as bad as it seems because it's like, all right, you went from being on top of the world as a fighter, and now you're kind of on a back skid, but I'm sure she signed a contract where she probably makes double than she did with the UFC with WWE. So I can't begrudge her for doing that because, shit, if I could make that money, I would too.
Hey, she's got mouths to feed now. Didn't she marry? She married Travis Brown, right?
Travis Brown. Yeah.
So she's got to make that money because Travis ain't gonna be making much in the fucking heavyweight debate. Like, hey, let's give Shawn's Travis's spot here. Like, let's just have them swap. All right, how about we do this?
Or have Shawn fight Travis. Have Shawn fight Travis.
And beat his ass. All right, be like, yo, never come out onto celluloid and wear that Speedo again. Shawn, I got you. I got you. That one fucking picture that I can never unsee. Fucking my Australia, my New Zealanders, Rod and Barry's there, for fuck's sake. That's his big marketing photo.
To go back on my question before we jumped on to the wrestling talk, if GSP wins, you think he keeps fighting, Shawn?
I think he should. You know, he had some issues. He coming back. You know, if he goes and just dominates, you know, Michael Bisping, I think he should.
You think they make that fight with Woodley if he beats Bisping to make him the champ?
Yeah, probably. Well, isn't Thompson fighting on that card too?
Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on who he's fighting. But yeah, he is fighting
Masvidal.
Yes, he's fighting Masvidal. Oh, wow.
Masvidal. It's my boy right there.
I love Masvidal, but I think he might get his face kicked off.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you? Those are fighting words.
That's fine.
I think
he's only doing it because Masvidal's Cuban. That's all. The only time he's closet racism, Shawn. Don't let it get to you.
Masvidal likes all our stuff on social media. I have nothing against Masvidal, but
so what the fuck? Jesus, that's how we treat friends of the show, Shawn.
Hey,
that's not how I do it. All right,
well,
I got you.
Stephen Thompson is indirectly part of Team Sarah, so I go with Team Sarah.
You're married in. All right, I would too if I could. For God's sake, no, I wouldn't. Like, come on, man. Come on. Jesus, bro. You married in. It's like me and my Jewish uncle.
It doesn't matter.
I get it. That's
I'm
true.
A homer.
I forgot that. No, dude, I forgot that little linkage. I get it. I'll hold down my Cuban brother over here. Crazy communist that he is.
I think that'll be a good fight, though. I think it will be a good fight.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Everybody wins in that fight, for God's sakes.
And you know what? We were talking about this before, Shawn. I don't know if you heard it, but that card is not sold out at MSG. Can you believe that?
Really? There's some good fights. I still can't believe Corey's on the Fight Pass, though. Like, that's crazy.
That's bullshit.
Wow.
Let's say it for what it is.
But they have Hendricks on the main event, and that guy hasn't made weight in his last 3 fights.
Well, he's opening up a falafel place in New York. I think that's his next venture. So I think that's why they got him on the main card there.
Yeah, it's they're trying to draw more people to watch Fight Pass. I mean, we've talked about this before. They're trying for big names to draw on Fight Pass. They're trying for big names to draw on FS1. I hope it's on FS1 and not FXX or whatever the other undercard or the undercard is going to be on. But yeah, that MSG card is not sold out, and the UFC did a marketing survey, and the reason why
GSP is such a big draw.
Oh, well, this is what's going to make you laugh. The reason why it's not sold out yet is because the majority of the fans do not know who GSP is.
Oh, hurt my soul.
Right? I'm not going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. I'm crying blood over here. It's fucking retarded. I hate to say the word, but that's insane.
Sick, doesn't it?
Jesus.
Yeah, the people
even the other fights on the card themselves is good. You know, Cody Garbrandt finally fighting TJ Dillashaw. You know, Joanna versus Rose. You know, that's going to be a barn burner. So, you know, there's some good fights on there.
And when they did that marketing survey, the answer that people most commonly gave was they started watching at the rise of Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor. That was the answer.
Because the last time he fought was what? 2013 versus Johnny Hendricks?
Yeah. Not that
4 years ago.
Far ago.
Yeah.
But still, like, if they're newer, that's what, 5 years? 4 years? Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
most people they hyped up Ronda and Conor and stuff like that. So a lot of people that weren't fans back then are fans now. Within the last 4 years, the sport has astronomically exploded. So.
Yeah, that's sad. That's extremely sad. I mean, it's
Conor and Ronda, both two names that could get it online. Shawn's got something for him. Find him on his Twitch channel. All right, he's got something for both their asses. I'm just saying.
I'd rather see Frankie fight Conor. Conor is like a swear word around my camp, man.
He's a bitch. Chris isn't here to defend his golden boy. The guy was given the option between a guy who was sitting on the couch doing nothing and Frankie Edgar, and him and his team chose the guy who was sitting on the couch doing nothing, and he almost lost that fight. I think Frankie would have...
You could get Frankie sitting on the couch for months. That guy... He's
always ready to go.
I've never seen that guy, even when he's not in camp, not at practice and stuff like that. That guy, he's 25 minutes early to practices, half hour early to practice. He's just crazy. He's the definition of he's the craziest guy, but he's the nicest guy ever too.
My wife and his sister-in-law are best friends, so I've had many opportunities to sit and talk with this guy. He's just amazing, and it's nice because he doesn't mind sitting talking about fighting. That's the funny part. He doesn't mind sitting and talking about fighting and bullshitting. He's actually the person who told me that the UFC deal had gone through, and this was before our podcast even happened, and people told me I was nuts. They're like, oh, you'll just believe anything that you hear. And when the sale went through, the first thing I texted out to everybody who told me I was nuts was, if a mouse can pull a train, hitch up when I tell you it can happen. But, yeah, he's a definition of a true mixed martial artist. And everybody says that being a company man, doesn't always help you out. And eventually it will. The cream usually always rises to the top. So I think it would be cool. Let's just say somehow Conor beats Ferguson and Frankie beats Max Holloway. Have that super fight. Frankie coming up and fighting Conor for the 55 belt. What do you think?
I think Frankie gets it. Frankie, just that whole wrestling aspect and stuff like that. And, dude, you got to put Frankie unconscious. He's one of those guys that I don't know what it would take. You got to hit that guy with a car or something, but that guy just keeps coming.
Shit. You got to hit him with a fucking tank. Oh, great.
And it's not like he's not used to fighting guys that are big for a weight division. I mean, you looked at him and Gray Maynard. It was like when Rocky fought Ivan Drago. The size difference was just immense. And he knocked him out, and Maynard was never the same again after that knockout. Never. You look at Frankie against Sean Shirk. Sean Shirk looked like Lou Ferrigno's poop. He was huge. Frankie embarrassed him. Frankie embarrassed him for 3 rounds. So I definitely think he could do it. I'm one of the biggest Frankie fans that are out there. Omar and Chris make fun of me constantly for how much of a fan I am for Frankie. So there's that. Right, Omar?
I've been teammates with him since the very beginning, being at Ricardo's and stuff like that, and seeing that guy and not know who he was at the time, and, seeing him grow into, a superstar. But yet he'll sit there and have a conversation with you after practice and stuff like that, They don't make him like that no more. No.
And it's funny. I followed Frankie from when he was with Rhino. When there was a guy that was Jose Rodriguez. I don't know if you know who he is. They fought in Ring of Combat. But I used to work at Macy's, and Jose was the FedEx driver. But he's a fighter, too. And he was telling me about Frankie at Ring of Combat. He's like, this guy's going to be signed in the UFC soon. So, of course, I go on the internet and check him out. And I've been a fan since he was fighting for Ring of Combat when they were fighting in a ring, not a cage, like it is now. So that's how far back I go with Frankie. And, God, it's amazing. You watch him then, and you watch him now. And when he switched over to Ricardo's, he's an entirely different fighter from when you watched him at Rhino. He was always that tough. His conditioning was always there. But his stand-up wasn't even close to as good as it is now. He was just a straight wrestler. So if you can, jump on and find his old Ring of Combat fights, like when he was beating the Miller brothers and shit like that. It's pretty amazing. Right up until his Tyson Griffin fight, his first fight in the UFC. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's an entirely different fighter.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. If I went from just being a straight wrestler to actually having some striking now.
And it's hysterical. He was turned down from the Ultimate Fighter season with BJ Penn and Jens Pulver. Told him he was too small for the 155 division. They actually turned him down for that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see him in the next fight. That's going to be an amazing fight in December. And to spin off of that, Omar, Bobby Wambacher, the referee, had messaged me the other day. He wants to come on before the fight and talk about the fights before that card happens.
Beautiful. Well, he's always welcome.
So, Shawn, we're winding down here. Just want to give you the floor now, like the last time. You know the deal. Throw out your social media, your Twitch stuff. Promote yourself. I know you can't announce who you're fighting, but let the fans know the fight date and everything. And the floor is yours, brother.
All right, cool. Thanks for having me again, guys. Again, my my Instagram is Teed MMA. Same with my Twitch.tv. It's Teed MMA. My Twitter is just @Teed. I'll be fighting, can't say who yet, but I'll be fighting on December 16th at the Borgata for CSFC.
Don't do it.
You can't get out of it. I don't care. Yeah. But
good.
So you can catch me on there. You can catch me on all my social medias. Keep me on. Keep updated about the fights. When I get tickets, I'll let you guys know. Fan shirts, things like that. Just thanks again for having me, guys. It's always a blast.
Please, you don't ever have to thank us. You can come on here anytime you want. We will be sending you a shirt soon, so you can throw that on there for your Twitch viewers. So thank you again for coming on. We always love having you on here, and before the fight, we're definitely going to have you on here so we can talk about that. Yeah,
definitely. When the CSFC actually announces who I'm fighting, I'll definitely get you guys up. Maybe if you guys will let me, I'll be on your guys first when it's released.
Beautiful.
You don't ever have to say if we let you. You have an open invitation.
Come on, man.
Here, man.
Of course, anytime you can get on,
come on,
and then come on now, and if you need a hype man for setting up online fights too, okay, I've been a troll in Reddit forever. I'm good at that keyboard warrior stuff. We can get people to. Hey man, Shawn's got something for everybody. Don't forget.
But yeah, man. Well, thank you again.
This constant hate mail from Reddit, right? This constant hate mail.
Oh, you have to, dude.
Well, you know what it is? He stopped the long nights at the bus stop, and now he's just behind the keyboard, just breeding hate.
I forgot I said
That's
that.
what it is. You did. And it was Well, listen, man. Thank you again, and we'll definitely be in touch. Like I said, you got a Pride Rules MMA shirt coming your way. We'll just have to talk to you about the address and everything like that. But, bro, thank you again for coming on. Keep in touch. Let us know what's going on when you can actually announce your opponent. And the minute you can announce that, you're coming right back on the show.
All right, guys. I'll definitely keep you in the loop. thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for listening. You know, I actually had a few people listening. I don't know if they even wrote in, but you know, thank you everybody. Thank you for all the support.
No problem, brother. And hey, thank Ricardo for reading my message and just completely ignoring it.
That's messed up.
Hey, he's a busy guy. I can't.
Shut up.
We're trying to get him on here,
Come
Shawn.
on.
We need a
All
legend
respect to
on
Ricardo. Come on. He's a legend, period. Fuck out of here. I can't. No. I have no part in this. No. All right. No.
Shawn, man, thank you again. As always,
all right, guys.
It's a lot of fun, man.
Take care.
All right.
All right, bye.
Omar, God, I love having fun with him on here, man. He's too funny, you know.
Oh, he's the man. He's the fuck. And what I like is I feel as though I think he'd be a tremendous asset to Twitch. I think, you know, he's the real deal, right? He's, you know, anybody that will cop to WoW and be like, yeah, I used to kill people at that game, right? And put in the hours that he said he puts in. His lady's playing with him on this majestic gaming rig that made
like,
me, you know, my
fuck?
heart quicken. Dude, I was super excited. Yo, you know, me and Kristen are like, hold on a second. So he said it was like a 10-foot, and then if we get 2 more screens, you know, we're sitting there trying to do the math.
That's a gaming console, bro.
That's 1,000%, bro. This guy's not fucking around. He's over there, and I'm saying, you know, everybody can get it. If that's how he's doing, think about this. Like any World of Warcraft type game, he's got an instant buddy, right? Like it's just right. It's like it's a built-in. Are you kidding me? You know how many times I would have loved to be like, yo, I could use some heals right now. If I could get my girl to come on and spam, oh my god. It'd be over. You'd probably never see me again.
Yeah, but with that kind of system,
thing.
she's probably just as much of a badass as he is.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're both of them are. You know what I could see them do that would be really tremendous. I didn't want to butt in and tell him, but like, imagine if he like did a podcast and it was, you know, or they answered questions, or they had like they were both on the Twitch channel. You know what I mean? The possibilities are endless because I think that's a big because they're real. He seems like an avid game player. So there's nothing like, oh, I play video games. No. You know what I mean? Like Mighty Mouse. You could tell that man games. He really does. He loves what he does.
I'll never forget the video of him on Twitch when USADA came knocking.
Yo, exactly. Dude.
Oh, hang on, guys. USADA's at the door. I gotta go.
Yeah, and you know, you read, and I remember the clip. You told me about it, and I was like, wait a second. And then you read it, and you're like, no, fuck, USADA? Yeah, USADA. He's like, yep. Just gotta go. Hold on. Shit's crazy, man.
Dude, how fucking bad is that? That, you know, we're sitting here thinking Carl Robertson doesn't have a fucking fight. Because the UFC is not saying a goddamn word about it. And Shawn kind of put us on our plate. I love that he did it. I think it was great.
No, he had to.
Thank you.
That for
100%.
sure. You know, but like, I really still feel like I'm not a casual fan, and I don't put myself above a casual fan. I love the fight game. I'm constantly, you know, probably when I shouldn't be at work, but like reading about stuff, and you know, maybe I'm outing myself a little bit, but I try to keep abreast of what the fuck's going on. And if you can get that past us, and I'll even say this, like if it gets past me and you, or if it gets past you and me, like collectively, you know, we didn't know what the hell's going on. That's a bad look.
And it's
about
2 weeks
marketing.
away.
Yeah, bro. Like,
and it's 2 weeks
I'm
away,
serious.
but yet Sage Northcutt beats a tomato can.
Yeah.
And he's promoted like crazy before his first fight.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and it's always going to be that way. Paige Van Zant's always going to get the push. CM Punk,
you don't say a goddamn word against Paige Van Zant. Don't you
I'm
ever.
not saying it. Oh, no.
Say anything against Paige Van Zant.
Didn't mean to insult insult your Dancing with the Stars champion and a honeyboo, I guess. But what kills me is, you'll see a CM Punk article where his wife has something to say about him being basically a tomato can.
He's fighting again.
Right, yeah. Right, and like his wife, I didn't click on it because I don't want to support any of that garbage. But I saw it on my Facebook feed. Hey, his wife had something to say. It was clickbait for sure, but that's still news. Yeah, extended teammates,
it wasn't
friends
clickbait.
of friends of the show.
It wasn't
I
clickbait.
know.
She really did have something to say.
But stop.
It was babbling bullshit, but she still had something to say.
Then I should say it was a clickbaity title. Look what she has to say about, CM Punk, and then ... I'm like, yeah. Not today, ISIS. Not today. Even if you have something legitimate to say, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no,
support
basically
that cause.
she was just like. Basically, the whole meat of the article was she was begging his face not to change. That was the meat of the article. Like, if you're going to keep doing this, please don't get your face busted up. That was the meat of the article. But
so what?
that's
Become a
being
lighter Bob Sapp? Just like cringe whenever somebody touches your leg and then fall down? Like, is that where we're going with this?
That's being promoted. That's being promoted. And, an exciting winner on the Contender is not being promoted. For his first fight, his first official fight with the company is not being promoted. Where you wouldn't know that unless you're training with Carl, like Shawn had said. That's sad. That's sad.
It's horrible. I'm telling you. It's straight up fucking donkey pants. But what are you gonna do, man? I mean, it's not gonna change, and kudos to Shawn for what I'd love to see is he builds this thing up with Twitch, and it only enhances his fight career. I feel like a Mighty Mouse can sit and say, hey, listen, this is how I want to play my career, because he sees the longevity and he's built up a following. You get where I'm going? Like, he has alternate revenue streams. He knows kind of what he brings to the table, and he's able to then leverage and capitalize it. Shawn seems equally smart in terms of, hey.
Yeah, and like you said before, if it's a way to keep Rampage relevant.
That's great, right? From doing something other than driving monster trucks. I said it again.
And I love Rampage. I hate that you're shitting on Rampage. I love Rampage.
I'm not shitting on him, but you got to call a spade a spade. If I have a crazy cousin that got behind the wheel of a monster truck.
That's a tough comment.
Sweet Moses. No, okay. You gotta call something for what it is. I did not mean it in the racist connotation. Good for calling me out, though. That's I always get on your case for that. I didn't mean it in that context, but if I have like some wild cousin.
A minute, because I am the Reverend. I'm holding the Bible.
Okay, good. Thank you. So it gave you the inspiration, but no. If I have a crazy cousin that drives a fucking monster truck and goes on a legit rampage, like, come on, man. I love the guy, but my man's crazy.
Well, he did lose his belt to Forrest Griffin. It's just, that would probably make me go nuts too.
I would. You'd probably see me, with a machete, naked on the corner somewhere, just like being completely Puerto Rican. Just so
nothing
angry.
against Forrest Griffin. I love Forrest Griffin, but come on.
Yeah, but Forrest Griffin shits on Forrest Griffin. Forrest Griffin would probably be quoted as saying, "Yeah, man, losing your belt to me would probably drive you nuts too." I don't think there's no pretense with that, man.
I mean, you go from knocking out Ricardo Arona with a beautiful slam to losing your belt to
tepid performance.
Forrest Griffin.
To Forrest Griffin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Forrest Griffin for fighting concussed and making Anderson Silva the GOAT. You know what I mean? Shout out.
Well, I guess you throw Stephen Bonner in there too, huh?
Fuck out of here for Stephen Bonner. American Psycho looking motherfucker. That's all I gotta say about that guy.
He is, but you know what?
Seriously.
He is extremely good to special needs children, and Stephen Bonner is A-okay in my book.
So then you know what? God bless him. I'll take it back. I'll take it away all the
Exactly.
Anybody that's like legit that way, God bless him.
Yes. Yes. Well, listen, guys. Another show in the books. It was a lot of fun talking with our buddy Shawn Teed. Thanks again, Shawn, for hitting me up, letting me know that you got a fight coming up. I can't wait to have him on the show again when he can actually announce who he's fighting.
Nice try, by the way. Getting him in a backwards way.
I didn't want to push him too far, man. I don't want to be the Ariel Helwani of the podcast world. I don't want to be blackballed. You know, I don't want to have to cry on air. Yeah, I don't want to cry on air. And have
that's for Wednesday.
CFFC not let us have any of their fighters on.
Tell me if there's any tears I want it to be for a vidcast. Let's save it, please.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. We will have the vidcast on Wednesday. Omar is in the States.
I'm excited.
We have UFC 217 to talk about. We would definitely be breaking that down in detail. Whether Chris will be here or not, that is irrelevant.
I think we can bully him into being on here, though. I hope he's okay, but I think we can also. I think after today, like he had some technical, like real life difficulties. I'm glad he's, not, being worn by somebody's skin. Like having that happen on Mischief Night, that's so scary to me. Like there's some parts of town where that could have had him not come back. So I'm glad he's still hitting us up, and he's alive.
Yeah.
But we can get him on
Wednesday. He doesn't get arrested tomorrow night. That's what we're hoping for. And
oh man, fingers crossed. Crossed. Okay.
He is the itch in the word witch. That's for sure.
Yeah, something.
So yeah, Wednesday night we will have the fight breakdown Wednesday night. Next Monday night, another returning guest, Eddie Truck Gordon, will be joining us again to talk about his book that's going to be released soon, hopefully a soon-to-be bestseller. So not only do we bring you guys future champions, future UFC fighters, we're also going to bring you future best-selling authors on this show. That's how diverse we are. You're welcome. Not to bite off jail, but you're welcome.
I love you, Teddy. You're a fucking man.
I know. So listen, guys, there's just plenty of good stuff coming up. Keep tuning in. Keep bumping these numbers up. We love you all for joining us. New Zealand, I love you too. I know you hate me. I'm sorry that Mark Hunt is a heavy bag with eyeballs. I'm sorry. Maybe that's something else we can touch on Wednesday before the show starts with Dana White's open letter. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it tonight. Hopefully we could save that for the beginning of the show on Wednesday. But Dana White did write an open letter to Mark Hunt basically telling him to shut the fuck up. So,
and go die. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So for ADK Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and our buddies at 2 Minute Warning Sports, I am the Reverend Tommy D. This is my man, El Professor, Omar Sangarima.
Beautiful.
For Chris Gucci, who could not be with us tonight, we hope everything is okay. We are Pride Rules Podcast. And thank you. Good night.